This is a video demonstrating how to use a make one increase for a toe-up sock. We're using 2 circular needles, and we've done our initial cast on and worked the first round of stitches, so now we're ready to do an increase round. We slip the stitches onto the working needle, and I'm holding the yarn in my left hand. You can hold it in the right hand if you want. I'm using the other end of the same needle. This is the working needle to work these stitches across this row. The other needle's hanging down below. So when we make this increase, because we're doing a toe and the toe is going to slant up on each side, we want to use mirrored increases. For a make one, there's 3 ways to do a make one, and that's open, which makes like an eyelet stitch. We don't want that. Or a right leaning make one, or a left leaning make one. So we want to make them right leaning on one side and the left leaning on the other side. That creates mirrored increases. For a toe, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. For example, you could do the right one on this side and the left one on this side, and each round you would do that. Every time you make an increase round, which is every other round, you would do the right here and the left here, or you could do the left here and the right here. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're consistent. For this example, we're going to do the right make one on the right side and the left make one on the left side, and they'll be placed right in between the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches. So here we go. We'll knit the first stitch. Then if you look, you'll see that there's this bar right here between the stitch that was just knit and the next stitch. This is the bar that we refer to when we say pick up the bar between the 2 stitches. For a right leaning make one, you're going to pick up that bar with the left needle going from the back to the front. Left needle, pick up the bar going from the back to the front. And you can see now that the way the bar is mounted on that left needle, that it slants to the right. So that's going to make a right leaning make one. And we knit that through the front. And it can be tight. Sometimes I loosen it up by going like this and hold it with my finger in the back, then I can get through the front. This one, because it's the very first one, is very tight, which is good. You want them to be tight on your sock toe. And knit it. Oops. It's good for you to see that this is difficult for me to do it, but once you get the first round going, it's easy. So I got that one made, and you can see how it crosses. That bar is now crossed at the base, and the top of the cross is pointing to the right. That's another way to tell that it's a right leaning make one. Work across until there are 2 stitches remaining. You knit. You got 2, and you're going to knit this one, and you look for the bar between the 2 stitches. This time you're going to pick it up with the left needle from the front to the back. Now you can see that that bar is on the left needle and it's slanting to the left. So this is going to make a left leaning increase. This one's much easier to work. You're going to knit it through the back loop, and you just put your needle into the back of it. I slip it over the top of the needle, helps my needle get in there. I'm in the back and knit it through the back, then knit the last stitch. And then we're going to turn our work so that we can work on the other needle. We're going to pull this one through first so that all those stitches are now on the cable. We're going to move this working needle into position. We've got our tail yarn here and our working yarn. Be sure you grab the working yarn and not the tail. You use the other end of the working needle. Find the other end of the needle that's in position, and that's the one you're going to use to knit with. We're going to do this. Repeat the same process. We're going to knit the first stitch. We look for that bar. We're going to lift it from the back to the front with the left needle, and we're going to loosen it up so we can get into it. We're going to knit it through the front. See, it's much easier, this next one. The first one's the one that's so darn tight. Then we're going to knit across until we have the 2 stitches remaining, and then we knit this one. Then using the left needle, we find the bar. It's right there. You see the bar. We go from the front to the back, lift it up onto the left needle. You can see it slanting to the left. I have it just on the tip of my needle so that I can work on it. I go through the back, and you see how I did that? I lift from the front. It's easier to do this than slip the front needle over to the back. Whoops, keep the stitch on there. You have the bar on the over your needle. Take the right needle and slip it over the top. The bar is still on the left needle, but now the right needle's in the back. Knit through the back and knit the last stitch. So we've worked the first increase round on this toe-up sock. We have an increase here, here, and on the bottom here and here.